yards carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
And they're behind the sticks here a bit now, dealing with a 2nd and 12. Here's Romo now on 2nd down. And on the left side, he's got Witten. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 3rd down. Okay, starting lineup time offensively, Charles, for the Dallas Cowboys.
And how about them at number 4 in the 2016 draft? Big needs on the defensive line. And they go with the running back.
They go star power.
They went star power, but Ezekiel Elliott, in a lot of ways, was exactly the right decision. When they had winning success in 2014, they did it running the football. Elliott can do that for them again.
He completes it to Bryant. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. That's connection numero uno. Tony Romo going to Desmond Damon Bryant.
And how about the chemistry those two have built up over the years? You know, everybody always sees Dez as being so demonstrative on the sidelines, like he's upset about things. He just wants his quarterback to know he wants the ball and he's going to make plays for him.
Okay, Charles, defensive starter time for the Atlanta Falcons.
And let's spotlight Keanu Neal, the safety out of Florida. So big, so athletic. Many thought they might make him an outside linebacker, but I think they're going to use him as a hybrid outside linebacker, strong safety, kind of in the Cam Chancellor mode in Seattle.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
Throwing again is Romo. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
They'll be marked inches short, no gain on the play, and that's going to lead him to 4th down. And look at this. They're keeping the punter on the sideline. They're going to go for it here on the opening drive. They do snap it. Now Romo. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. And they're not able to convert on 4th down. And that could be a major momentum swing here early.
Because the defense stopped them. How great is that? They go for it on the first drive of the game. They're the ones trying to establish something, trying to assert a little dominance. And guess what? You turn it back on them and give the ball to your own offense. I agree with you. It could change momentum in a big way.
Trying to get that in the hands of Devontae Freeman that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down. A glance at the starting unit. Julio Jones, a threat on the outside, of course.
Combines great athleticism, incredible speed, and a whole lot of toughness to be one of the better receivers in the NFL.
2nd down now after the incompletion. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I know that's their first connection in this game, but you and I both know that Julio Jones is without a doubt his quarterback's favorite target.
Oh, yeah, Matt Ryan loves this guy. Who wouldn't?
Yeah, and the reason that he's that is because of his dependability. And quarterbacks have to have that from their receivers, meaning they know where they're going to be when they're running certain routes. They don't break them on them. They don't change them up and do their own freelance stuff and put their quarterbacks in bad situations. Matt Ryan has ultimate trust in Julio Jones.
Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. Again, Ryan. And Jones has it over the middle. And he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Second and 10. It's Ryan again. Flush to his right. His throw caught at about the 5. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Now Ryan. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Justin Hardy from 4 yards out. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. It's good, and that gives the Falcons a 7-0 lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. So the offensive 11 for the Cowboys coming back onto the field, and what a year it's been. Now remember, they lost their opener to the Giants. Since then, 9 straight wins. First time ever a Cowboys team has won 9 in a row. And this is a group, a franchise that has 5 Super Bowl titles.
I'm absolutely in shock. Are you serious? This is the first time they've ever won 9 in a row? All the success the Cowboys franchise has had? That's amazing to me, but I'll tell you this. This team has strung together a terrific streak, not just by doing it on offense, but the defense, which is expected to really have a tough time, has played really well this season.
26 yards on the pickup there. And it'll be a Dallas 1st down.
Right. Let's go. Over. 59. Here we go. Come on, let's go. 52. Let's go. 59. 83.
Romo gives to Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And partner for Ezekiel Elliott, congratulations are in order. He passed Tony Dorsett's rookie rushing record as a Dallas Cowboy in Week 11.
And you know what else he wants to do? He wants to emulate Tony Dorsett in another way, and that's win a Super Bowl as a rookie, as Tony Dorsett did in setting that record. But also, you know he's trying to chase down Eric Dickerson's rookie rushing record of 1,808 yards. That'll be interesting to see if he can get there.
Cole Beasley, the intended target. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. Now Romo. He was looking for Terrence Williams that time. And it's 4th and 4.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. And the Falcons now making their way back out onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
On second down, here's Ryan. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They come up in an offset eye. Now Ryan on first down. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. And he's brought down after a good gain. 22 yards on the pickup there. And it'll give the Falcons a first down. Shift together here from the D-line. They'll throw on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2, but they face a second and long to start things out. Now Ryan on second down. Connects with Sanu right side. And he's brought down after a good gain. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Second and 10 now, Ryan. And Jones has it over the middle. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up a third down. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Now the pitch to Freeman. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Well, partner, they might want to tear up their scouting reports a little bit here because they just broke tendency. 3rd down, you don't ordinarily see a toss. They ran it, and they ran it really well and picked up the first down. I love the way the edges were sealed, which allowed him to get to the corner.
And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2. And they got 29 yards there. And the Falcons are going to have a first and goal. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. It's Coleman here. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Tevin Coleman taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Falcons will extend their lead. And his kick is right through. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and...
But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, a great read and it's picked off. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Here's Ryan. Flushed out right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. On second down, Ryan. That's caught at the 2. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and goal.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman punching it in from a yard away. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. And he'll bang that one through. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
A good pickup there, a 22.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65.
Hey, 50.
From the 50, it's Romo. Now Romo hit, and he loses the football. He had it jarred out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Get ready. Blue 80. Switch.
Here's Romo now on second down. He's got time. He's going to let this one go deep. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
The wide receiver moving to a new spot.
Over 59.
3rd and long here. It's Romo. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
So out come the Falcons now. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play Nice shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
They come out here in the eye. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time, and it's 3rd down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And now we're circling here around the 2-minute warning.
This is a setup play, trying to get one last one in before the clock warning.
On 3rd down, Ryan. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. He was hoping to get that one to Tevin Coleman in space, and that brings up 4th down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
1 minute, 53 ticks left to go in this first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. Bryant, the lone receiver, left. Romo here on 1st down. Finding time. Escaping the pressure right. No gain, and it's 2nd down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
The play fake for Elliott. Now Romo. Drops it underneath to Elliott. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Again, it's Elliott. And they get to him quickly. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
Romo now to throw it. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th. The Cowboys will turn it over now to Dan Bailey for the field goal try. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. Certainly their offense has sputtered here a little bit in the first half as they finally do get on the board, but they only have 3.
Well, at least it eases the frustration a bit, doesn't it? Be able to get some points on the board, feel a little bit better about themselves as they go into the locker room and try and regroup.
Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
2nd and 10. It's Ryan. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe
Super toe.
Everyone's got 4 down.
To throw is Romo. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Jason Witten from 4 yards out. And the Cowboys get a bit closer.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. And here now come the Falcons. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it second down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended
a battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Carr. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
After the interception, here's Romo. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Back to the air they go. Romo on second down. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And Bailey able to knock it through. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Now Ryan on second down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Jacob Tamme, there. And it'll bring up third down. And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. On third down, Ryan. Being chased out left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And that'll bring up a fourth down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. One man in the backfield, Elliott. 2nd and 10. Romo once more. It's caught on the right side. Williams. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and they're going to face a third down.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Third down now following the completed pass.
Let's go. 180. 45. Gun. Bang. Hurry up.
And the wideout in motion. Throwing on third down, Romo. He's got a man. It's Williams. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
I know that in recent years, it's been tough on Tony Romo. A lot of injuries have piled up, but he's still able to sling it, Brandon. Look at that throw.
Yeah, he can. By the way, you know his given name on his birth certificate?
Hit me.
Antonio Ramiro Romo.
That flows
He's got a good ring, so I'm going to start calling him Antonio.
The lyrical one.
They'll try the sweep with Elliott. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game, and if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Tyson Jackson in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. And the O-line will have to do a better job protecting here on third down after that sack. And he motions the wide receiver. Third and long here. It's Romo. He's under pressure, and they got to him again. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up fourth down now.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
They come out here in the eye. On second down, here's Ryan. The left side completion to Jones. And he's brought down after a good gain. 23 yards on the play. And when these two are clicking, Ryan and Jones, and we've seen multiple hookups here in this one, usually their offense is clicking, and that's why they're winning.
Yeah, they tend to follow what those two do. They set the tone for either a good day or maybe a tougher day. And right now, we're seeing an excellent game because those two are finding each other. Doesn't matter where on the field, they're making plays.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Really good, skillful, tough running throughout this contest. Picked up first down after first down. He's got to have a nickname, doesn't he? How about the human first down machine? I think that fits.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. Eluding the pressure right. Hits his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll be second down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle.
Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw. Now it's Ryan. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time out they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover, and wow, now you got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
And they get 28 yards on that one, and it'll be 1st down Cowboys.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. 9 yards is the pick up there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Here we go!
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to air one out. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Help me out, partner. Was that incomplete?
That was on a deep ball to Dez.
And that's a surprise. The way he attacks the football in the air, it's always surprising to me when he doesn't complete a pass like that.
Try and run for it with Elliott. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. And quickly, they get to the line. Here's Prescott.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force.
Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dez Bryant, 39 yards. And now the Cowboys are within a 2-point conversion of tying up the game. Romo going to throw for it. Throws right side. And he's got it. So they went ahead and went for 2 to tie the game, and it works out. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now it's Ryan. Flush to his right. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
All right, Brandon, while we have a quick second here, I've got to come back to the field goal kickers, all right? Last week, we had 12 missed PATs. Yep. And I remember talking with a couple of kickers, and they said missing a PAT now with the new rules is way more damaging to their psyche than missing a field goal. But they also say when you miss a PAT, there's a carryover about your confidence trying to kick a field goal.
And we saw 12 of them, a league high missed last week. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. 2nd and 10 now. Ryan. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third. And the offense now will try to regroup after the sack on second down. Third and long. It's Ryan. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
Take it at the 37. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They come out here in the eye. On second down, Elliott. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game.
12 yards on the pickup, and the Cowboys are going to get a first down.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
And he's brought down. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal.
Well, they're certainly running the ball pretty well on this drive, and all I remember as a secondary guy was if you're making a lot of tackles in a game, that's usually not good for your defense. You've got to figure out how to keep things in front of you because you know there's 3 levels, defensive line, linebackers, and into the secondary. And if the 3rd level is leading your team in tackles, as a general rule, things aren't going so well for your defense.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now Tony Romo on first down. His pass caught at the 4. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them. Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The man with over 1,000 catches, Jason Witten, the intended receiver. And that brings up 4th down. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will break our tie and give them a 3-point lead. So the drive here ends with a field goal, and that does give them the lead, but this one is still a long ways from over.
And you love to be able to look up at the scoreboard and see that you're out in front, but then you take one look across the field and see that offense is raring to come back out, and you think, I don't know that field goals are going to be enough to get us home.
On first down. Ryan. Caught on the right side by Jones. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll bring up second down. And they're going to speed things up here. On second down, Freeman. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or 2.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. These short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. He goes underneath to Freeman. It's a gain of 5, and it's a second down.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on you heave one deep when you catch him close to the spot.
And, of course, the quarterback in this situation, he's realizing time is becoming a factor. Let's see if they can get some points on the board here late. Now Ryan, and that's caught by Tammy. 9 yards on the play and a first down.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. And leading here late, so a chance for the defense to really close out this game if they can halt the offense. Here's Ryan looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll make it a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They'll come out in the pistol. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Another pistol look here. The play clock's running down. To throw again is Ryan. Flushed out right. Time for a break. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. They come out here in the I.
21. 21. Check.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll get this. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. See if they stay on the ground for second down.
Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island. 20 over. 59. Get ready. 180.
And Romo not liking something. He'll turn and call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Here we go with 2nd and 7.
Right. He's down right here. He's down on the right. Under. 59.
They go to Elliott again. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8 that moves the chains.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set.
Over. 59. 180. 65. Over. Hey, alert 3. Under. 280. Hey. Let's go. 180. Check.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll fight his way. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. Second down following the run.
All day, every day, any day.
And they're definitely showing blitz here. The wide receiver moving to a new spot. Romo hands to Elliott. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Third down now following the run. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
And now with the play clock winding down, Jason Garrett opts to take a timeout. That'll leave him with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Atlanta now coming out on the field. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking two plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
Let's see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. It's a 5-receiver set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. So a second down incompletion now brings up third down.
I know exactly why he tried to throw the ball to Julio Jones there. He's never considered cover. He's either too fast or too strong. You always try and get it to him.
Especially on those deep passes. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right.